Hi, I'm Jeff Cohn, and thank you very much for being with us today on the Black History Month edition of the Mayor's Corner of the Mayor Joseph Rudess of the Village of University Park. Mayor Joseph Rudess, how are you today?
I'm doing fine, Jeffrey. How are you, sir? Good to see
I'm
you as
doing
usual.
excellent. It's a very special edition that you're having today because we have a very special guest with us. We have attorney Nina Fain with us today. How are you, Attorney Fain?
I'm delighted and honored to be here.
Great. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Anything for Mayor Rudess.
You know
Anything
what?
for Mayor Rudess. He's the man.
That's what I always say.
You guys are so kind.
So thank you. Attorney Fain is a prominent corporate attorney that was one of the first equity partners and one of the largest international law firms in the United States. In 2020, she was given the Earl B. Dickerson Award from the Chicago Bar Association, which is granted to exceptional lawyers of color who dedicate their work to communities that are diverse. Attorney Fain has worked in governmental and companies, but is most proud of her service in the Black community on boards, commissions, and other civic roles. Always active in promotion of people of color and women, she is delighted to be on the Mayor's Corner today to talk about Black History Month, the village's upcoming event to honor notable Black community leaders, as well as to give a few tips on things we can do during the pandemic to increase our knowledge about the importance of Black History Month with our own families, increase our knowledge by expanding our reading about members of the Black community, and to share some important information on public utilities that are part of the village infrastructure.
Sounds like we're in for a treat.
I know we are.
Yeah.
You know that sounded like a treat. I mean, I could not wait for this moment to have this conversation with Attorney Fain. You've got a very illustrious background, Attorney Fain, and so it's just really a delight to be here with you today.
Thank you, Mr. Cohen. Thank you, Mayor. It is a privilege and an honor to be on the show today. You know, African American mayors are rare in the United States, and communities of color have been experiencing many challenges. And Mayor Rudess has stepped up to address all of those issues. So I'm proud to be here and proud to be part of that team.
Thank you so much. Attorney Fain, that is one of the most exciting times of the year for African Americans during this month. Even in the pandemic, what are some of the things you have been doing during the Black History Month this year yourself?
Well, I've been doing a lot of things, but right now we are working most aggressively with Mayor Rudess on a program that he is initiating this year, and that is a Black History Month program and festival. One of the challenges that he asked his team to address was, what can we do during the pandemic which will enhance our knowledge of Black history, but keep everyone safe? We know that next year when he initiates the program, God willing, and if we are blessed, we'll all be in person and we'll be able to have a festival and kind of party together. But this year we are honoring several important people within the University Park community. I've made a couple of notes here so that I get everybody's name exactly right. I don't want to be in trouble with the mayor. We are honoring first and foremost Reverend Jesse L. Jackson Sr. He has been a close ally of University Park on many issues, and the mayor and MOS, the Mayor's Office of Special Events, is giving Reverend a Lifetime Achievement Award. So in addition to that, we have, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, please do, after you. Keep going.
Okay. We have another very special individual, an exceedingly prominent African-American woman, our own village clerk. I call her D, but she is Dorothy D Jones, who we all know, and who I know certainly from my professional experience, is the only African American and was the first African American village clerk in the state of Illinois. And that is an extraordinary, extraordinary feat. And so we are going to be honoring her with a Lifetime Leadership Award, because
Excellent.
she is the glue, as clerks are in every community, for that community.
Sure.
And then in addition, we wanted to highlight the achievements in community service awards. And this was a decision that was made by the mayor and the Mose team and the mayor's staff. We're honoring Reverend Reginald Williams Jr.,
Okay.
Reverend Sean Aldridge, and Reverend Moses B. Herring Seniors. And each one of those gentlemen has been an exceptional leader within the community, not only bringing their constituents together, but helping the mayor and the trustees with all of the challenges that the community faces, as well as working tirelessly for their parishioners in the service of God. And then we have another first, if you will,
Okay.
Dr. Cheryl Green,
Right.
who is the president of Governor State University, and she has been a strategic ally and partner with the village at the request of Mayor Rudiz, working on many projects. And as we all know, education is paramount. It is a way out of poverty, and it is a way to embrace the future success that all African Americans want to achieve. So, and then last but not least, the mayor wanted to especially recognize all of the trustees in the village. And so because of their dedication to the community in good times and bad, they will be receiving the Home Service Award.
Excellent.
And we are very excited about that. I think they've been surprised to learn that they would be part of the honorees this year. And so that is part and parcel of what we are doing. And then I'm very pleased to also announce that Myel Organic Labs and one of the leading African American companies in the United States will be working in tandem with the mayor to offer scholarships to the churches and to a community organization that is dedicated or designated rather by Dr. Green and by Reverend Jackson and by Clerk Jones. So there will be $1,000 scholarships. The mayor has raised that money, and so that will be good for education, and that's part of our theme. So that's what I've been doing. You know, the mayor is a tough taskmaster. You got to step on up when you're dealing with Joe.
You know, I know that.
Yes, that's right, exactly.
It's exciting, and it's really good, and it's nice to see someone in the South Suburbs actually doing something to recognize leaders from the community, from the Black community, and you know, that's what I would expect from him for him to do actually during these times. So it sounds wonderful, and I can't wait.
From the day I met him, that has been his brand. Okay, that has been his brand.
Sure. So you know, that all sounds really exciting for the village and the honorees. But what can folks be doing at home during this month right now? I mean, what do you recommend to them to do when they cannot get out like we used to go to the breakfasts and to all the gatherings and the special gatherings that we've had in the past? What can people really do at home? What's your recommendation for them, Attorney Fain?
Well, I was a teacher before I was a lawyer, so education is a value. So I always kind of pivot back to something related to that. And one of the things that we have been doing, and I'm active with the Chicago Bar Association, is developing reading lists of books about and by African Americans. And so I think that we have the list for the viewers today to see what we have done. And all of the folks who are involved in that are African American lawyers and judges. We had a few non-minority folks involved, but all of the books are on topics about African Americans and their role in the United States. Reverend Jackson's book is among those. And then we had Reverend Jeanette Wilson, who is prominent within the PUSH organization, review a book for us. So I would strongly recommend, when people are at home, everybody's reading a little something,
Right.
to put together your own family reading list. When you're on a Zoom call and you're talking with family and friends, and you may be having that little cocktail to try and ease through the day, that you talk about the books that you are reading, and put that list together, circulate it. Some people have gone as far as putting together a group or club. That's a lot of work, so I'm not recommending that, but certainly a book list. And I found that I thought at one time I was well read. I've learned more recently that I am not, because if we are all reading for work, you're either reading how to operate a machine, do something in the office, instructions on Zoom, whatever it is,
Right.
but we're not reading for pleasure. And it's it's a way to kind of decompress. So that would be one thing
Excellent.
that I would
Good.
recommend.
But reading
Mhm.
as a theme, as a family, and doing that, coming up with a reading list and just reading, right?
Yes, yes. Well, and
That
I
was
have to
something
tell you, mhm, mhm.
after you.
What I was going to say was that the mayor again inspired this because he has been asked to read to students in the village. And so that's really what gave us the idea. You know,
Good.
he's very modest. He never says anything like what he is doing on that. That's not, fancy, a lot of fanfare, but encouraging boys and girls to read is important because
Yeah.
they have to read to go to school and to do well. And so anytime they can see an adult doing it, that is a
Yeah.
very good thing. So I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's exciting. That is also a good point. And I remember with my own children reading about Black inventors, and we love reading August Wilson's plays. That's what we
Oh,
used to love to
yes,
do during Black
yes,
History
yes,
Month,
yes.
is take one of August Wilson's plays, and because many of them are thin reads, and just
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
sort of read that and have conversations about what did his plays actually mean for African Americans during the time in which he wrote those plays.
Well, let me add something because I was at the post office, I guess not this past Saturday, but Saturday before, and I was asking them if they had any Black History Month stamps. And so my postal agent said, "We have August Wilson," and they
Okay.
are really gorgeous. It's a photo of him
Okay.
and a chapeau, and he's looking all elegant, and I said to him, I said, "Oh, the Black playwright." And so the guy said, "Oh, he is." He said, "I knew he was someone, but I didn't know." And I said, "Well, you
Right.
need to go and read his play." So he was like, "Well, I'm going to look that up, write it down and read." So there you are, coming full
Yep.
circle.
So yeah, exactly. So I know exactly what you're recommending. But let's be real though, in terms of the reading. Some folks have family members that, may be too fatigued to read. And we're living during coming on a full year of a pandemic, the
Mm.
COVID-19. Some people are dealing with the pandemic fatigue. They're essential workers, they go work long hours, and they come home and they got to get sleep just to get ready for the next day. And I do understand that. That's a real thing. And so, what do you recommend for those people in that situation?
Well, yeah, one of the things that I would recommend, and another kind of group or category of our elders are people who moved here from the South, who had to leave school early, to work in the fields and things like that, and to get jobs to support their family. So reading is not always their thing. And so you want to make certain everybody in the family is included, from young to old. So I would recommend that you develop your own living Black history.
Oh,
And you can do that very simply. It's called in education, it's called the language experience approach. And so what you do is you have people write down what you are saying. You can video it. You can pull in pictures or objects from your home, from the family, and just put something together. Everybody can contribute.
yes.
And it doesn't matter what people do. It doesn't have to be formalized, but it's a way that everybody can come together. And, you know, everybody wants to be a movie producer. So there you go. And it's a lot of fun, and it's budget friendly, pandemic friendly, because you can do it whenever you want. But, you know, ancestry.com is making a lot of money off of a lot of families, and African-American families included.
Right.
And I'm all about, we can do it ourselves. So you want to work on your living family as well as the ancestors. But, you know, I find now, if I want to talk to a family member, you know, you can Zoom them up and ask them, what about that? What does that mean? What is this? And they will tell you, as opposed to once they're gone, you go, I wonder what that was.
Yep. And you know, one of the most
So
powerful
that
things
would
about
be what I
Zoom
would recommend.
is that you can record.
Yeah.
So that is the production
Yes.
format in and of itself, is the fact of that Zoom, you can record that conversation in that interview.
Yes.
which
And
is
that, I
powerful.
mean, that's living history.
It sure is.
Well, and remember, as Africans, as people of African descent, our history is in storytelling. When we were not allowed to write in the slave quarters, and we had to use drums and other forms of communication, or in some of our communities, original communities, pre-diaspora, where we communicated, we did not always have a written language. And so our history is based in storytelling. So this is something that is really, I believe, my humble opinion, on point with that, and it won't cost a dime.
Mayor, did you have anything else that you wanted to contribute to that thought before we move on?
No, not at all. Not at all.
Okay.
It's going, and it brings everybody together. And as Attorney Fain stated, everyone can participate. So that's a good thing.
You know what I really like about it, Attorney Fain, is the fact that it can create a tradition.
Yes.
So every single year, families can come around that, what you've just described as an artistic approach to their family celebrating Black History Month every single year. Pick a day during that month and do it every year.
And you know what, Jeff and Nina, we're all under the assumption that everyone can read. Unfortunately, that is not the case. So this may also be another opportunity to help someone that can be very close to you, that you can just be completely unaware of, that has deficiencies in reading literacy. So it's a win-win all around the table.
Absolutely.
Well,
Absolutely.
and the mayor, as the British would say, the mayor is spot on, because during my practice experience, I have met people who are, you know, well-known, prominent, or whatever, and because of circumstances in their lives, they just never learned how to read. They're good mathematically, or they had somebody else do it, and you don't know that. And so this is a way to give them a safe place to learn a little bit more, to feel comfortable, and then to share that information that will be lost. I mean, our history is in jeopardy. We are in jeopardy as a people, in my opinion, but
Yep.
Losing our history because, you know, it's all about Snapchat, here, gone. And so if we don't preserve our history, you can count on the fact there aren't a lot of people that are going to step up to do that. And the living history is really,
It's real.
really important. And everybody feels valuable and is valued in doing it, which can be important, particularly for some of our teens that
Mhm.
may feel that, they're not being lifted up like they would want. So
Sure.
that's what that's about.
That's wow. I've never thought about that, putting it that way in terms of celebrating Black History Month. The reading I did, but the living experiential storytelling, I think it's something that's very powerful. And I thank you for sharing that. And before we wrap up,
You're welcome.
is there anything else that you wanted to share today with the viewing audience?
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for the blessing of having been invited and being here with everyone today. And this has been an exceedingly tough year. I think we're only here by the grace of God. And so
Amen.
I want to thank him today.
No doubt.
But I also, thank God Jesus is with us, because I'm telling you, not a lot else supporting us right now.
Hallelujah.
But I wanted to just remind, I didn't mean to preach, Mayor. I just wanted to, Mayor's like, oh, I see we're gonna get you a church. No. But I would like to remind everyone to please, at their convenience, to go on to the website of the village and look at the information on the moratorium on these public utility payments. The Illinois Commerce Commission has until March 30th, and we don't know yet if it's going to be extended. The mayor will let everyone know if and when that is extended. They have put a moratorium on payments of all public utilities. So NICOR, ComEd, Aqua Illinois, which are all in the village, are
Okay.
part of that. But you must call. You must be proactive. If you don't call and you're having an issue with the payment, then you're in, that danger zone. They are putting a moratorium on it. You can work out a payment plan, but again, you must call. So all of the information, granular information, names, phone numbers, everything is on that ICC public information sheet that the mayor and the trustees have put up, along with the village manager, have put up on the website, so that people will have that information. So please don't delay, because I'm sure everybody's been watching on TV in Texas, where the utilities are charging, 5 figures for 4 days when they weren't providing any. And they're looking into that, but before people open up envelopes and there's a, it's like heart attack zone, get your information to those folks so you can take advantage of that moratorium.
And
So that's my story.
the key thing is that they have to take action, though. That's what you're saying, right?
Yes.
They
Right,
have to
right.
do it. It's not
That's
going to
right.
be automatic.
Right.
Yes, we can continue.
That's correct. That's correct.
Information, and we want them to actually take action to protect their own interests in our community. Absolutely right.
Good. Well, this has been an absolute delight today, Attorney Fain, to really have this conversation. I really did not anticipate, really learning some new ways of actually celebrating Black History Month, but I really like that storytelling element and to get people involved. And I really thank you. And it's been a great pleasure to be with you. And Mayor, I'm going to let you just whatever you want to say to close this part of our show out. So please share.
I just like to piggyback on you, Jeff. And again, thank our esteemed guest, Attorney Fain. Thank you for all your knowledge and all your help and support as we continue to try to provide the best up-to-date factual information to the residents of the village of University Park. And I am encouraging, please join us for our first annual Black History Celebration this Thursday, the 25th of February at 6:30 p.m. There will be a YouTube link that can be sent out, and you can follow us live on YouTube and Facebook and any other piece of social media. I'm not sure what other social media aspects you can view it on, but those two are for sure. And I thank you again, Jeff, for doing a fantastic job and being my host. I look forward to seeing you on Thursday night. This should be a grand gala event. It's only a foot forward in how the future is going to look when we all get our vaccinations and we're all back together again. So thank you again for being the host of the Mayor's Corner. Thank you, Attorney Fain, for being my guest. And look forward, as we move forward into the season, we'll have more and more guests, exciting news, and lots of things to look forward to in the year 2021. Thank you so much, Mayor Budez.
And that concludes the Black History Month edition of A Mayor's Corner. Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.